Welcome back to Side Scrolls on ScrewAttack.com. What is going on? Hey, I might scrap the whole intro, but we'll see.
I think we should do another one.
What, really?
No!
I was going to say, that doesn't sound like you. What this is, however, is the Animated Arcade. It's a video game cartoon podcast.
We review, riff, make fun of, enjoy.
That's what riff means.
Well, we have to do it twice. Twice as much of riffing and making fun of these cartoons than what is needed.
There's the other kind of riff, you know, the...
Yes, and we will play that here.
We just did. It was most excellent, dude.
Oh.
We're in a fun mood today, but what we actually are is about halfway through the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and The Legend of Zelda in its air date order.
Are we watching the Legend of Zelda cartoon today? Did we watch the Legend of Zelda cartoon today?
Yeah, and because I've been asked by some listeners to be more specific, we're watching an episode of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. The Zelda cartoon short is Doppelganger, and the Mario live-action bookends is The Magic Love. So
this is one episode. Episode 35.
35 of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Maybe we should,
Yeah.
We'll smooth it out, but I think this is good. This is learning. This is progress.
This is going to get results.
It is. Insert that right here.
Oh, smiley faces.
That's an outlet.
Oh, that was too scary.
Well, I mean, that's better. No, I think that's better. I think that's better, you know? I think that's better. I think that's going to get results.
For the two other people who get it, besides the two people who are here at the table getting it right now, you would have originally gotten this on October 20th, 1989.
Hey, John, how old were you in 1989 on October 20th?
About 10 months.
I was 15 months?
I don't know. Don't ask me to do math, man. I want to talk about Mario and Zelda.
What about Mario typing? Can I ask you about that?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first appearance of the second appearance of Charles Martinet as Mario.
But, okay.
That and the Mario's Fundamentals, where you play Go Fish. That might be yeah, no, it's the same different one. Mario think you're fantastic.
Do you have a 5 of hearts?
Go Fish. But anyway, so the live action segment, I think we better get into it before this.
Where can we even watch this?
Thank you for reminding me. Normally, we would say you can watch it on the Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel.
Amazon Prime.
Buy the DVD.
Time travel.
All those jokes. And honestly, for the Zelda cartoon, you can. You can watch it on all those things. Especially the time travel one. I recommend it. The pizza was better back then. But the live action segment is one of the quote-unquote lost ones that's not included on any modern releases and was not even included on the previous DVD that had the release. So that you've got to look up on YouTube. Fortunately, in one of our previous episodes, we erroneously mentioned that these were missing, but it turns out we just didn't look hard enough. There's still the restored episode playlist by Ninja Numbers. I can't remember the numbers, but you'll look for it. Look for the Mario Super Show Restored. And it's got the live action segment reintegrated with the Zelda cartoon, with the ad breaks. It's all there.
Oh.
I can hear that creaky chair. We're going to get you a different one sometime.
I have a different one upstairs.
Fine, let's go.
All right.
And we go get Aaron a different chair. No, but seriously, when I was editing the last one, that was way too loud, so we do have to turn down the sound pad volume knob.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess being at 10 is too loud.
Was that before you futzed with it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll cut this part, but we're going to play that song again to see where our volume is. That's better.
Like the others who get all the fame.
If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double.
This is the others who hooked on the brothers.
Hooked on the brothers. Yo.
To the bridge.
Yeah, or the fridge.
Or the ridge.
Or whatever that is. The jury is still out, although I'm pretty sure they returned a verdict of the bridge.
It's to the midge.
Ooh. Don't tell Moose. Okay. The Magic Love.
So, this is a nice, simple, easy cooking show this time. Luigi's making a pie, an apple pie.
And as has happened more than once, he's at the crucial juncture of the recipe where he's waiting for Mario to return with an ingredient.
You know what that
rather than making sure he has it all to start with.
I mean, to be fair, and we touched upon this last episode, you can have all the ingredients ready, but one of them could be moldy, like the cheese.
That's true. We did touch on that. But let's not mention it any further in case that doesn't make it to the final cut. But no, yeah. Luigi's there literally trying to keep his pie crust in shape. He's got flour on his fingers. And Mario returns from the store with a single apple.
A red, delicious apple, which is my least favorite type of apple.
Really?
I hate... Okay.
Here we go.
Out of all
Why
apples...
do I ask questions?
The only apple worth anything is a Granny Smith. It's crunchy. It has a little bit of sour to it. It complements almost every other flavor that you can add. And it doesn't get soggy. It's the perfect apple.
I like Macintosh.
I disagree, but I just find most other...
You disagree that I like Macintosh.
Yes, I disagree.
See, we've been on YouTube 2 years, and we're already doing that thing where we're telling each other our opinions are wrong. So, I believe this is what the young people refer to as brain rot.
Oh, is this cringe content yet?
Was it not always so?
No. At some points, it was just bad, and not entertainingly so.
Well, we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so, but Mario is not volunteering this apple for the pie because it's a special one.
It will make whoever eats it fall in love with whoever they see next.
Yeah, and he apparently is planning to use it to seduce singing sensation
Mad
Donna. Now, is it Donna or Mad Anna or Mad Donna?
It's MAD space DONNA. Mad Donna. Have you ever been...
was Dio.
Oh, isn't that like an entire season of Doctor Who?
Mad Donna. Well, she was very rarely happy. Oh. Okay, we really should talk about this. Apparently, now, I don't think he's actually planning to use it on Mad Donna, but he's thinking he could.
Yes.
And he sets it down on the table.
In front of a picture of Mad Donna.
And to the right of the pizza phone.
Yes.
Which doesn't ring, but does get used.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
By the same person.
Or it's used, it's a really protracted single use. But anyway, who should come in?
But Mad Donna.
Yeah, her car broke down or something.
And she needed to use the pizza phone.
As they so often do.
To call her agent. To get her back online. To get to the tour. So that she can make money and all that fun jazz.
Yeah, her and Rob Stone have got a gig.
Yep.
And yeah, this is a lady who's kind of dressed like mid-90s Madonna.
Yeah.
Like,
Early
to the extent that a children's show can show.
Exactly. She immediately goes, "Oh, an apple in front of a portrait of me? Don't mind if I do." Takes a bite of it. Looks at Mario and goes, "You're the most attractive man I have ever seen." And is fawning all over him.
And that's when we cut to the cartoon.
Which is a better time than this. But, I will say, this was not a bad time.
No.
It's just hard to compete.
So we cut back from the cartoon and Mario and Mad Donna are engaged already.
Yeah, they're planning their wedding. They're planning their honeymoon. And the apple wears off.
Yeah, because she only took one bite.
Yeah.
And she starts to flip out. She's like, why am I here? What the hell's going on?
This is after she called her agent to cancel the tour.
Yeah. She's still on the phone with her agent. She's holding the phone, I think, the whole time. And says, forget about the tour. Call the cops. Something's going on. And then she takes another bite of the apple.
And she sees Mario again and goes, cancel the cops, cancel the tour, I'm getting married.
Yeah, cancel the cops, call the press agency because it's something, want to announce my wedding or whatever.
Yeah, to the most attractive man in Brooklyn or something like that.
Something. Actually, she says the world, but I kept expecting her to say Brooklyn because they always do that sort of thing with this.
Yes.
They'd never want you to forget that they're in Brooklyn, which, is fair enough.
So, Mario, this is where it cuts again.
Just the commercial break.
Yeah.
That's one thing. These restored versions have their commercial bumpers, which is now it's no longer the brick wall with a picture in it. Now it's just the freeze frame of the brothers and by the logo from the opening going, we'll be right back, paisanos. And
we'll be back before you can say pass the power.
Yeah, which we had to determine does not count.
Yes.
Because if we started watching these regularly, the pasta power count would go up by 1 every episode. And it's a Zelda episode, so as impressive as that would be. But anyway, so we cut back from commercial, quote unquote, and
Mario's packing for the honeymoon.
Yeah, he's going to go into the room in behind the upper door. That's not the one that goes to the void, usually, I don't think. Well, it sort of does, but not like the pipe maze void. And anyway, he says, we're packing for the honeymoon. Luigi asks where he's going, and he says, Niagara Falls.
Don't forget to bring your barrel.
Yeah, that was a funny bit. Luigi says, oh, yeah, don't forget to bring a barrel. And then the apple wears off again. She's on her phone with the agent again,
and takes another bite.
Yeah, but first Luigi tries to tell Mario, the honeymoon might be off or something, and then goes down to try and calm down Mad Donna, just to get it so she doesn't call the cops again.
Yeah.
And then she takes
or the
a
health
bite.
inspector.
Yeah.
Oh, and she was this time when.
She immediately came to. She's like, "What a dump."
Yeah.
She's been hanging around with Count Dracula.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah. And so she takes a bite, falls for Luigi. Just as Mario comes out with a suitcase in one hand and a cobbled together prop barrel in the other, which was funny. That's a through line.
Yes.
And now her and Luigi are engaged, and we cut to commercial again, and when we cut back,
do the Mario.
Do the Marios. Do or do not. There is no Mario.
There is a Mario. There's at least one, potentially two.
Mm.
But all in all,
only two there are. A brother and an apprentice. That's where it ends. Presumably this carried on for the next 2 days until she finished eating the apple.
Yes.
And by then she was, never mind. Not doing that.
So, all in all, this was a good live action segment.
It was probably the strongest one we've had in a while.
Yeah. I
mean, well, okay, what were the last few? Fortune Teller.
Yeah.
Kind of mid.
And bad audio mixing, so.
Yeah, that didn't help.
The second Dracula.
Yeah, that was pretty weak.
But.
Well, here's the previous 4. Fortune Teller.
Yeah.
Heartthrob.
Oh, okay, not great.
Vampire Until Ready.
Okay, not great.
Flower Power.
Bottom third.
Trash. It should have been took out.
Yeah.
So, in terms of just the last of the ones we saw since the previous Zelda episode, which was Tutti Frutti O Mario, where little Robert sang for his supper, this is easily the best of those 5, I would say.
I would say top third.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment.
And I thought when they brought in another Madonna parody.
Another?
I mean, there was already the... Oh, I'm thinking Cher. I'm thinking Cher's Poochie.
You know, no matter how hard we try to forget, every time I close my eyes, I see Cher's Poochie.
Oh.
Sigh. But no, yes, I know what you mean. It is one of those. It's well, they don't say that it's Madonna. They only made that mistake with Cher.
Yeah.
I think maybe they got a talking to about that. Because every other time it's been Susanna Ross and Mad Donna. And, I mean, they mentioned celebrities before, but they haven't had anyone pretend to be them.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't get a phony, an unfortunate bit of fake Sophia Loren stuff. But the fake Mad Donna, or I guess the real Mad Donna, is being played by...
That is going to be Paula Irvine.
Irvine, okay.
I
assume she's got a long and illustrious career to go over.
Yes, we're going to be here for the next 3 hours, going over everything that she's done.
I'm already strapped in, otherwise I would quit this show.
In 1987, her first role as Liz Kopchak in CBS School Break Special.
I'm detecting a pattern here.
And it just started. This got a 6.8 stars out of a possible 10 on IMDb.
Well, IMDb was a lot harsher in the 80s.
I know. And then there was Party Camp in 1987, where she was Devi. And Bates Hotel in 1987, which only has a 3.8 on IMDb.
Damn.
Out of a possible 10, as Rebecca.
Not Rebecca.
In 1987, she was also in 2 episodes of A Year in the Life as Pam. 1988, she was in Bluegrass as Maud as teenager.
Bluegrass as Maud as teenager?
Yeah. Maud when she was a teenager.
Oh, she was playing a teenage version of a character named Maud who normally would be played by someone else in that show I've never seen or heard of.
It's a movie. Probably not a good one.
Probably not.
It has a 6.8. And then 1988 still starred as Liz in Phantasm 2.
Ooh.
Then Doing Time on Earth as Marilyn Richmond. Then Mad Donna in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah, that's where I remember her from.
Okay.
In the TV series Just Say Julie, she was Wendy Brown, uncredited,
Right.
for 1 episode. Growing Pains, 1 episode as Laurie McNeil.
Uh-huh.
Beverly Hills 90210, 1 episode as Cheryl.
Okay.
Santa Barbara as Lily Blake, 158 episodes.
Well, there you go.
This happened in 1991.
Yeah.
1994, she was Rebecca Dalton in 1 episode, and she then in Renegade.
You didn't say that.
Oh. Well, in Renegade, she was Rebecca Dalton in 1 episode, and then her last acting role was Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead.
Ooh. Michael Flatley.
After that, she left acting to go back to college or university to pursue a career in communications. She lives.
Okay, so a working actress for a while until she got a different line of work.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, good for her.
And she has a husband and kids. But not enough to go into any more detail, as the only thing that I was able to find is she retired from acting.
All right. Well, that's good. So it's just about time to get into the Zelda episode, but before we do, this is a good part to remind everyone, if you're enjoying the show, if you're listening on the YouTube version, toss us a like and subscribe. You get new episodes every 2 weeks and best of clips at least once a week. I've been working through the backlog and uploading remasters or restored versions if you prefer, of the older ones with the old logo, and before I started adding like episode titles and stuff. So, I'm gonna settle into a routine of new content on Wednesday, and then maybe a remastered one on the Monday where there isn't a podcast. We'll see if I hold to that, but
You won't.
You'll get at least one short or cover song comparison video short a week, and a podcast every 2 weeks. So like and subscribe for those, and if you're on the audio versions, give us a 5-star or up, whatever the top rating is on your podcast service of choice.
Or follow us on those podcast services so that you can be up to date when we release a new episode.
Yeah. You don't usually have to tell podcast service listeners to follow, but it's a good idea too anyway.
Yeah, as well as share this podcast with your friends, families, and well-wishers.
Yeah. Yeah, if you think you know anyone who'd get a kick out of a show like this, show them some of our best of clips.
Yeah.
And then tell them that there's episodes that are like that, but with, 45-minute stretches between the jokes.
Exactly.
Although I think we've been doing better lately.
And I feel like this episode is going to be a really, really good episode.
So without further ado, we don't have a button for it yet because I forgot to make a short clip for it. But we're going to get into the Zelda cartoon short for this week.
That's a placeholder.
It certainly is.
Nice job, hero.
Hey, excuse me, princess.
All right, the Zelda cartoon short is Doppelganger.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, this, again, we're not going to beat around the bush. We've made no secret of the fact that this is one we both actively enjoy.
This is the best option.
Yeah.
And less problematic than I thought it was going to be. Still problematic in ways, but...
So, it's another regular day in Hyrule. Fairly early in the morning, I would guess. But anyway, we cut to Hyrule Castle, and there's a moblin climbing the tower that leads to Link's room, and he's got boomerangs in his mouth.
Only 2.
Well, how many boomerangs can you fit in your mouth?
I don't know. Let's save that for our next week's Boomerang in Mouth Challenge.
Damn, is it already time for another one? So anyway.
I still can't believe that you won last year with 38.
Yeah, well, it's not a personal best, but it was enough to win. So, meanwhile, up in the tower, Link is practicing his swordsmanship while whistling an oddly familiar tune. And somehow grunting while he whistles a few times, but let's not worry about that. And we'll see if you can recognize the tune, because we're going to put a clip of it right here.
I recognize that tune.
Yeah, me too.
It's
the theme from Earthbound, I think.
I thought it was Surfing Bird.
Ooh, it could have been Surfing Bird. I'm not used to hearing Surfing Bird whistled.
I know, right?
So anyway, the moblin chucks a boomerang at Link, which fortunately just grazes him. And after a brief scuffle, Link sends the moblin back to the evil jar.
He apologizes. The moblin apologizes to Ganon profusely for failing, even though Ganon sent him with only 2 boomerangs.
And not even a rope.
No.
Oh, but when the moblin is zapped, it leaves behind a blue ring.
Yes.
Which in the context of the show, instead of halving the damage that Link takes and changing his tunic blue, in this show it's a force field.
Yeah.
Which will come into play later, of course. It's Chekhov's ring. So anyway, Ganon decides that he's surrounded by idiots, and but Link's weakness is the princess. You heard that too, right?
That was the cat meowing and then bolting.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ganon decides to exploit Link's weakness for Zelda by...
sending a second Zelda.
Yeah, he conjures up a light disc from out of his sleeve, and it blows through the ground and flies into the castle and manifests itself as a tall person-length mirror.
So is this a good time to throw in that, you're no amateur, Ganon, you're a pro sound clip?
It could be, if we have a clip of it.
We should make with that.
We didn't even make a sound clip to lead into this podcast, or into this segment.
Yeah, fair. But we
So-
should still do that.
We'll see. This will serve as a reminder for the editor. But as it stands, it manifests as a giant mirror, and everyone's favorite character, Sprite the Fairy, flutters in the window at the moment, looking for Princess Zelda.
My favorite character was the blacksmith.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid that was his only appearance.
Oh. Well, I'm going home. See you next time.
Yeah. Do the Mario. So we're, Sprite sees the giant mirror, wonders where it came from, says it's just another thing for me to dust, and then starts posing in it, well, talking about how vain Princess Zelda is.
I know.
And
How rude.
yeah. Meanwhile, Sprite enjoys parading in front of it so much that her clothes change in a couple frames.
Yeah.
That happened in Cold Spells, I think, too, where it cuts. There just must have been one animation model of Sprite where instead of her halter top, it gives her a shoulderless thing. Because I'm sure that happened in Cold Spells as well, during where she's getting kicked around by the mops and stuff.
Could have been.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure there is. Anyway, Zelda then walks in and also asks where the mirror came from. Nobody thinks to maybe get rid of the mirror if nobody knows where it came from.
But what was Zelda bringing in to talk to Sprite about?
Oh, yeah, she's carrying this shirt, and she's asking, did you iron this? And it's just a pure white shirt with a single iron-shaped burn mark in the back. It's like, man, like, obviously she must have spotted Link out the window while she was ironing and just flew away. Also, the idea, it's a funny image of Sprite holding up this, to her, giant clothes iron. Then you remember she probably just used magic to make it move anyway.
And then she got distracted, stopped using magic, hole through the shirt, shirt's ruined, castle's on fire, everyone dies, end of series.
Yeah.
I haven't made that joke in a while, so bring it back.
Yeah. Well, and it speaks to the way this show is laid out and written. If it were the Mario cartoon, a character wouldn't have bothered with the shirt gag. They would have just had the character walk in saying, "Hey, there you are. I was looking for you." But in the Zelda cartoon, there's usually some sort of reason for momentum.
Yeah, there's actual direction.
Yeah, well, you can tell it's written by the guy who did Beast Wars and his sister. We'll get to that.
Not his wife?
No, not his wife.
But what about his daughter? Her father?
No. Also no.
Okay.
I'm my own grandpa.
Oh.
This podcast does not endorse anything that could even be remotely interpreted as problematic about the preceding joke. So anyway, again, neither of them think that they should get rid of the mirror or do anything about it. And it cuts to later that night with Zelda standing in front of a full-length mirror, brushing her hair.
And the moon hits the mirror in just the right way, and it casts a shadow, and the reflection...
And Zelda leans in to kiss the mirror.
Yeah.
But no, the mirror starts glowing, and all of a sudden Zelda's reflection is wearing a black-themed version of her outfit, and is surrounded by moblins, who immediately march out and grab Zelda. Well, the phony princess, the titular doppelganger, as it were, orders them to get rid of her while she goes to steal the Triforce.
And instead of finishing the job, they bring her back to Ganon's Shadow Realm.
Well, that was the plan. That was the job.
No, finishing the job. Kill the princess.
That wasn't the job. Ganon wants the princess alive.
Yeah, and that causes him issues, and this is why Ganon has always failed.
Yeah, it's almost like he's a cartoon villain in a show for children. But anyway, you don't like it, go on the internet and complain.
I will.
Excellent.
Let
me know when you do.
I just recently found this website called Reddit.
Yeah, if you can sift through all of the posts that say, my insert character here cosplay attempt, you might be able to air your own grievances. But,
I mean,
anyway,
to be fair, half those are my cosplay attempts.
yeah. Which wouldn't be so bad, except they're all the same picture.
Oh.
Which still makes it a more truthful attempt than most of those ones who are just trying to farm OnlyFan dollars.
My cosplay attempt of Magnum P.I.
Not the worst I've seen. I'm sitting across from a man he does have a mustache and a Hawaiian shirt. He just also has no hair and a big long beard.
I can't grow the hair on the top, so I might as well grow it on the bottom and just do a comb over. You see it. It's flawless. It's perfect.
That's why I'm not saying anything.
I know.
It's above reproach. Anyway, so Zelda's being dragged into the mirror, but bundled up by the moblins, but she still screams before they get her, and that alerts Link, who, just like in the pilot, is rushing in with just his dressing gown and a sword, which he keeps under his pillow.
Which, good joke. I appreciate that joke.
Yeah, and Link takes down the moblins who are still on the outside of the mirror, but Zelda has already been pulled through by the other two. So, in essence, he thinks he's saved Zelda, because the Doppelganger is still there.
And he comments about her outfit and how it suits her.
First, she's like, she has to think on her feet, and she does a pretty good job. She's like, I'm going to have to figure out a different way to get the Triforce to Ganon, and I think I figured it out. And then goes up to Link and, oh, Link, you were wonderful, and gives him a big kiss. And
It's
he's
mooching time.
Yeah, and he's happy about that. It's like, what does he say? Wow, finally. A little colder than I expected. And then, hey, that's a new look for you, isn't it? And the evil Zelda, strikes a pose and fans her hair. She's like, do you like it? And he's like, oh, yeah. And yeah, it's the Zelda outfit, but the light pink is replaced with black, and the purple is replaced with kind of a reddish brown.
Yeah, I think that's a good way.
Yeah.
We'll throw a picture up in somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be I'm sure it'll be the thumbnail. But so she decides that herself, Link, and the Triforce are going to attack Ganon right now.
They're going to finish the job.
Yeah, see? She got to that eventually.
Yeah.
And, so cuts to them on their horses, Link on Catherine and evil Zelda on Zelda's white horse. And Link is carrying the Triforce of Courage, which apparently is actually pretty heavy.
Because evil Zelda can't make it levitate.
Yeah, he asks, how come you don't make it float like you usually do? And she says, because I don't want to. That's why. Now shut up.
And at this point...
Excuse me, princess.
Link becomes one of the best detectives in Hyrule. It's great because they don't have DNA technology at this point, so...
Not yet.
All he has to do is take a look into the water and go, weird. There's a horse reflection, but no Zelda reflection.
Yeah. And that's the commercial break cliffhanger in the Zelda cartoon is, that's not Zelda. And I mean, he gets it immediately. Link's annoying, but he's not dumb.
Not in this episode.
So he immediately starts playing his own game. He knows it's a trap, but it's also his best bet to rescue Zelda is to follow the fake Zelda to the underworld.
And at some point, there was a clip of Ganon interrogating Zelda.
Excuse me. Sorry, it's late. Yes, there was. She's tied up to a stalagmite, the one on the bottom, not a stalactite, which is the one on the top.
How do you keep that in mind?
Stalactites have to hold on tight.
Oh.
To the ceiling, or they fall.
I thought they needed all the might to keep holding on.
No, that would be a stalagmite.
Oh, I will never get this right. This is why I'm still in third grade geology.
This is why we don't live in caves anymore. So anyway,
maybe you don't. Have you looked around?
It's squalor, but it's not a cave. No. Sorry, that's an orphaned reference to something that happened before we hit record. So, yeah, Zelda's tied up against a stalagmite. Ganon basically is harassing her gently, but firmly harassing her.
With his finger.
Yeah, he goes to just kind of... He literally, I think, tickles her chin. He even says coochie coo or something.
Yeah.
And she bites his finger. The whole scene is played for no real reason. Just to show that that's where she is and immediately show how she escapes.
And she makes a comment of, do you want to lose a few of those fingers?
Yeah, she's going to lose a few fingers, Porky.
Which makes me question, and John is rolling his eyes, because I've already said this during the episode. If Ganon's minions get amputated, parts amputated, do they reappear in the evil jar? And
you mean the parts?
Yeah. And if so, once they get sent back to the evil jar as people themselves, do they recombine with? Or does it time out part by part?
I would say... A, the severed body part would only appear in the evil jar if it gets zapped at some point, because that seems to be how everything ends up in the evil jar, is if they get, nailed by a, quote, let's just say for, a magic weapon. So, now I would say getting your arm cut off by Link's sword probably would do it, because we've seen him slash at enemies that makes them do the zap teleport away. So, possibly, but again, I don't think the arm, if it just got cut off by like an axe or something, it would just fall to the ground. But if the rest of the enemy got zapped, would the arm follow? Would it be drawn by the same ethereal force into the evil jar?
Then in that question now, would it be more beneficial to, if you're seeing that your people are being hacked and slashed and being disassembled, to mercy zap them back to the evil jar to bring them back whole?
Or do they reconstitute themselves in the evil jar, like just regenerate anyway from the evil energy that seems to spawn them? Because they're not all in the jar at the same time. They're sort of conjured within the jar and then brought out. It kind of depends on the episode. Sometimes Ganon is alone in his thing until he conjures up the bad guys from the jar. Sometimes there's just minions around. So, I don't know. We could go around in circles on this for a while, but I would say either they'll be whole once they enter the jar, either because their detached part came with them, or because just the act of disintegrating and reintegrating in the jar returns them to their default state.
Yes. And this is going to be my question to Dr. Derp.
Yeah, you answer our questions for once.
Yes. What do you think is happening? Do you think that they're going to be reconstituted? Do you think that if you lose the limb, they lose it for good? Do you think that the being brought back to the evil jar without your full body is going to disintegrate the people because they can't, or the moblins, the bokoblins, the everything, the octoroks? Do you think if they show up with a missing limb that they get disintegrated and never reconstituted as a monster? Is this the end of Ganon's evil army?
Yeah, all we got to do is cut them to pieces before we zap them.
So I'm looking forward to reading that in.
If they die in the Matrix, did they die out here?
Only, yes, but at the same time they get removed from everyone's memory.
Oh.
But I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback on this. So
if you have any opinions on this, leave it in the comments below or send us an email with the address we'll give you later in the show, or tweet it at us, or blue sky it at us, or whatever.
Yeah. Is it Cloud Us?
No, I don't believe it is.
It should be.
But that really derailed it. So, Link and Zelda knows where the evil Zelda knows where the underworld entrance is naturally and leads them in.
And the other Zelda...
the real Zelda...
cuts herself out using a boomerang.
Yeah, which I guess they didn't frisk her because she just had her pouch on their belt, as she always does, and she pulls a boomerang out of it, immediately saws through the rope, which does that thing where after you cut rope off your wrist, the ropes just disappear because they don't draw them anymore.
Man.
And, yeah.
Hostage taking pre 9/11 was a different world.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Link has to fight a bunch of Stalfos and Moblins while protecting the fake Zelda, the Doppelganger, and gets another kiss in return. So, he's having fun. He knows he's playing her and he's getting the kisses. So it's not the worst day he's ever had in terms of rescue missions. And then,
that was cold spells.
Yes, I think that would be fair to say. But real Zelda comes out a door, and, evil Zelda, to her credit, doesn't even try. She just says, "Oh boy, here we go," and grabs the Triforce. Time to take this to Ganon. Like, she knows the jig is up, and she's not even going to try. And then Link, instead of immediately running after her, tries to, quote, explain himself to the other Zelda, thinking that she gives half a crap. And, she says, "Stop talking and start running," or something?
Yeah.
"Oh, excuse me," or is this? And, they're
Scooby-Doo chase scene where...
Yeah, there's a little Scooby-Doo door chase thing where Link keeps getting hit by the doors.
So the doors do open and close. We'll go over that.
Yeah.
There's no running through a closed door.
No, or
there's
sliding.
Running into closed doors.
There is that. And then there's running into open doors.
Yes.
And eventually, at one point, the Doppelganger opens the door and so does Link. And he has such a weird smile expression. He goes, "Not you." It's like, you guys were chasing her. You're looking for her.
Yeah.
But whatever. So they run out. They chase her onto a bridge, a stone bridge. It's that MC Escher cave system that Ganon's got that you see in some episodes, including a spiral staircase that spirals away from the pillar it's spiraling around.
Yes, but the way that the fake Zelda gets away is through a trap door.
Yeah, that's right. So they're chasing her out on the thing, like I said.
That goes, that instead of, staircase or anything else, it's a slide. It's a slide.
Yeah, there's this hole she just jumps in and slides down, but it closes behind her, and so they run over that and out the door next to it.
Yeah. Which, Zelda, the true Zelda stops, and Link runs right through into her, tumbling them both off and onto the next bridge. Yeah,
because they go through a door to a dead end. It's almost, it's very much like I think we took a wrong turn in the original Star Wars. Only with it, they don't have a rope to swing across. And Zelda stops and Link bumps into her and they both tumble over onto the next one, like Aaron said. And then as they see they're planning what to do next, and then they start getting pelted by Octorok boulders. Because there's 3 Octoroks on the pillar above them shooting downward, which is kind of neat. Yep. That's a good use of the space. Normally, in a cartoon like this, they would just be in front of them and shooting at them.
Yeah. And instead of zapping them with his sword, Link has a better idea. He's going to save everyone using that ring from before.
Yeah. So he puts on the ring, grabs Zelda, and back jumps off the ledge. Well zapping. He is zapping them.
Yes.
But he doesn't want to stand there and get hit by boulders while he's trying to aim. So they jump off the bridge, and they're falling quite a ways while Link is zapping. And he does get all of them. And then he powers up the force field to make a soft landing for them.
Soft?
Yeah. But it's a well staged little action beat. The choreography in this one is really good. Good storyboarding.
everything in this one was really good.
Yeah. And as we've said before, outside of maybe cold spells, even the Zelda episodes with the worst animation still look better than any episode of Mario, except maybe Toad Warrior.
Yes.
And even that had some little oddities. But I mean, now this does have a few, and I've got a couple down, mostly lip flubs. We got a couple of those. But first, yeah.
And Zelda the brown spot.
Yeah, that's in every episode. Zelda does not appreciate Link's heroics, even though it was in my opinion, a really good move. And basically says, don't you ever do that again without telling me. And you get what is, for my money, probably the best use of the excuse me, princess, because, it cuts to a far out zoom shot. And Link is so fed up. He's like, well, excuse me, princess. And he throws his hat to the ground. Like, this is genuine. I can't believe how little this person appreciates me sometimes. Energy. And yeah, it's like, it's not comedy gold, but it's easily the most justified and therefore best use of the catchphrase.
Comedy silver or bronze?
Comedy Central.
Before or after 9 p.m.?
Before.
Oh.
It's better than Puppets Who Kill. Of course, most things are.
Yes. So it's mostly just for laughs.
Yeah.
And just for laughs gags.
I was going to say, it's somewhere between just for laughs and just for laughs gags. If it's a just for laughs episode that has either Frank Caliendo or that really neurotic nervous guy.
Oh, Jeremy Hotz.
Yeah.
But what about the one with Greg Morton?
I was watching The Legend of Zelda. What a miserable show that is.
Oh.
Anyway.
It's a weird place to go, the gym, isn't it? The men's locker room? What a disgusting place that is. Women have no clue. Just filled with naked 95-year-old men. Just walking around totally nude, nowhere near the shower. Just nude and loitering. When I'm nude, I move fast. I'm looking for my clothes. These guys just walking around all proud. You gotta look at them. They're like, someday this can all be yours. Men's locker room's awkward for guys, isn't it? Never sit on the bench in the men's locker room. These old nude guys, they feel the need to come over and talk to you. I had one guy come over, he put his leg right up on the bench. What's directly in my field of vision? Just hanging there like a Chinese lantern. Great, he's nude and he wants to chat. Not about anything in particular either. He's like, hot enough for you? Oh, yeah, it's pretty warm. Maybe if you moved your figs out of my face, I could catch a breeze.
So, meanwhile, they finally catch... Zelda looks down from her perch and spots the doppelganger and dives off and tackles her, and they both land in a mud pit.
Girl fight!
Yeah, next time on a very special Clone High. I'm just putting that in there to tee myself up to put the actual clip there.
Next time on a very special Clone High. Bow chicka bow bow. Bow chicka bow bow. Girl fight.
Yeah, Zelda and Evil Zelda have a bit of good-natured lady mud wrestling. Not much, but a bit. And by the time Link gets down there, he knows which trope he's walking into because he sees that they're both up to their necks in mud and is like, oh no. And they both say in unison, Link, zap this imposter. And Link devises that the only way to tell them apart would be a kissing contest. Which, of course, he knows how it's going to play out, but he might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, he gets a kiss from the fake and gets a slap from the real one. Just the way he likes it.
Yeah, I think at this point, I think there is a bit of that. At the very least, he knew he was walking into it. And then the real Zelda just picks up Link's dropped sword and
zaps her.
Zaps the evil Zelda right from the hip. Just
yeah.
And then she magics the Triforce out of the mud and floats over to them. And also, this is a good spot to put in there's a good clip here from the Zelda cartoon censored video from our old channel, Cash My Man Productions. I'll put that clip right here.
Link, zap this imposter?
Afraid there's only one way to tell you two apart. Contest.
Why, sure.
So anyway, Zelda says that they got to get out of here before. We got to get out of here before. And then Ganon comes in. He's like,
Before Ganon shows up?
exactly. And Link is like,
Says the nerd in high school.
yeah. Well, he didn't want Ganon to show up either.
I know, but...
And Link says, time for a bath, Ganon, and zaps the ceiling and brings a bunch of boulders down on Ganon.
He zapped... This is well played, because he zaps where Ganon was.
Yeah, he baits Ganon into teleporting over the water, over the ceiling, where he's actually shooting to knock the rocks down.
Yeah.
It was, again, well-staged action. You have to actually be sort of paying attention, or it looks like it's just stuff.
Yeah.
But Ganon does get knocked under some rubble into the water, which distracts him just long enough for Zelda and Link to grab hold of the Triforce of Wisdom. Zelda closes her eyes and concentrates, and the Triforce levitates them all the way up and out the hole.
Can you just imagine how bad that would be on the shoulders?
Yeah, well, I mean, how much like climbing and rope swinging and backflipping do these two do? Like it's kind of like Batman rules. Batman can swing around on those ropes all day and it doesn't screw his shoulders up irreparably.
Yeah, but when was the last time you just held on to something, arms fully stretched?
Yeah, well, I think it's magic. You hate to do that as a cop-out. I think the Triforce, they're not being pulled up so much by the levitating Triforce as the Triforce is levitating them with it, I think.
Does it create a new gravity well?
No, I think it's more like it surrounds them with the same null gravity field that it's generating on itself.
Which I would almost accept if they weren't hands above their head.
I think that's to make it easier for the kids. Because now imagine if they were standing with their arms outstretched, flat, touching the top of the Triforce, and levitating up like that. We would be making a Poochie joke about the cell being dragged upwards. Which, I mean, that's how this is being done anyway, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, to a kid, they're hanging off of it. To the more developed cartoon-watching mind, they're being levitated along. I think it's honestly one of those don't think about it scenarios, though. Like, you're right. Your train of thought is 100% correct.
I'm thinking about it.
I think it's magic. It's just... But anyway. So, they get out the hole. I don't think we see Ganon again.
No.
Maybe there's a curse you, Zelda, something, no. And, the closing joke, which... Again, I don't give Link any shade for this because I probably would make the exact same joke. And he's like, hey, Princess, you ever consider getting a black outfit? It might look pretty good. And Zelda's not impressed.
Which she shouldn't be.
No.
This was a bad day for her.
It was.
She got a new mirror. Someone broke the new mirror.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. There was a great line there.
Oh.
Because, okay, yeah. This is going nearly back to the beginning, but after Zelda gets dragged through, when Link is fighting the moblins, one of them chucks a water pitcher, and it breaks the mirror. And it's like, 7 years bad luck, moblin, starting now.
Shoots them in the face.
Yeah, and that's why they have to, that's why the evil Zelda couldn't just still run back through the mirror at some point, because the mirror got broken. So there were good one-liners in this episode.
And it was well thought through. Like you said, if it was a Mario episode, it would be 100% different. The mirror wouldn't have shattered. It would just be Princess Toadstool would have gone like, oh, I need to take this way to bring Mario back to King Koopa.
I would like to see a Mario version of this episode, though. But yeah, with the stupid differences.
Yeah.
And the worse animation. And what parody would they shoehorn in? Not Princess and the Pauper, not Dr. Jekyll. What's something with like a twin or a double or that would have been a well-worn enough trope in 1988-9 when they're writing this. That's a thought exercise.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, or just, it doesn't have to be shot for shot, but just replacing the princess with an evil duplicate who's tricking the Mario crew into traps. But it takes them the whole episode to figure it out instead of half a jog.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's something we might come back to someday.
Yes.
I'd like to see it. And not just because I think that it'd be cool. How would they animate, how would they do the evil costume for the Deke Princess Toadstool?
It's Koopa in a princess outfit.
That would never work. Nobody wants to draw that.
If you want to draw that.
Yeah. Okay, that you can put on Reddit. Anyway. So no, this is a good episode of Zelda. It's the best episode of Zelda so far, I think, by a considerable margin. What do you think?
For a second, I thought that add-on Roku was on one side the Enterprise, on the other side lightsaber. But no, it's the Eiffel Tower.
So, it's a really good episode of The Legend of Zelda. Stop watching the Roku screensaver.
I refuse.
Just because it's the only light source in here, because we had to work a lot to edit the fluorescent light hum out of the last episode. So this time we're doing it with the tender glow of some Christmas lights and the Roku screensaver. The room is overwhelmingly purple.
Yes, and I made sure to shatter each and every fluorescent light in this place.
Thank you. So,
it's a shame that the only thing that was hard enough was your head, so sorry about the scars you're going to inevitably have. But Doppelganger.
Yeah, as funny as this is, I have to abandon it to get back to the cartoon. So, how did you like Doppelganger? What do you think?
You know what? God, I hated it. It was too good. It was not what I want to watch when I'm recording this podcast.
Yeah, it taints the well.
I want bad animation. I want bad storyboarding.
The rest of the cartoon is tainted with trace amounts of gold now.
I want bad storyboarding, and I want bad writers.
Yeah. Well, there were a handful of flubs. Nothing is perfect.
Please save me. Tell me the flubs.
Okay, so when Link first encounters the evil Zelda and she kisses him, he says something like, she's, "Oh, Link, you were," he's like, "Yeah, it's the part of a hero's job." Like he cuts off his line as if his mouth is being smothered by the kiss, but the kiss doesn't happen for like another full second.
Yeah.
So like that's what they were going for. So that's some bad storyboarding, or at least bad timing. And then there's another set of like lip flaps that are out of sync like that. I think the whole thing I don't think there was supposed to be that second delay, and it screwed up like the rest of that scene just a bit.
Yeah.
But then the best one was it's a classic with the Super Show. The old one character saying the other character's lines.
Yes.
Because right after Link beats the Stalfos and Moblin's defending evil Zelda in the underworld, he picks up the Triforce, or he's going to pick it up, and he says, well, that takes care of that, or whatever. And then evil Zelda says, "Right, let's go." But Link says it.
Yes.
Including a shifty side-eye look, as if he was saying it, deviously, like Zelda is. Evil Zelda. The doppelganger, as it were. And yeah, those are the main ones, except for at one point, when Zelda says, "Don't ever do that again," it's the evil Zelda model in the black clothes.
Yes.
And it's so painfully obvious that it is. It was probably just recycled from a shot earlier, or who knows, just, a little error. But it's just so funny because that's the one they're chasing after.
It's the perfect crime. No one will know. I will take this, Can I take this animation and pass it off as my own?
Delightfully devilish, Ganondorf. But, yeah, other than, the usual flubs, it's a strong episode. Top of the line of the Zelda shorts so far, easily.
Top of the line of all episodes.
Exactly. This is Zelda episode 7, I guess it would be.
Yes, that makes sense.
So.
We're halfway there, or more. We have 6 more of these episodes to go.
Yep.
And then that will be the end of the Excuse Me Princess Super Show, but we're not that anymore, so.
Yeah. We shall endure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get into, let's see, some of the finer points now. You got the cast. It's 4 people, again. And we don't know who's voicing the Moblins. It's probably Len Carlson. It's just not as meticulously detailed and recorded as the Mario cartoons credits are.
I'm starting a rumor right now. It's Harrison Ford.
Oh. As the Moblins?
Yes.
Nice. So you got Jonathan Potts as Link, Cynthia Preston as Zelda, and Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Sensible chuckle. But yeah, as both Zeldas, Paulina Gillis. You got Paulina Gillis, Tabitha St. Germain as Sprite the Fairy, and Len Carlson as Ganon. And those are the only speaking parts in the episode, except for a couple Moblin voices.
Thank you, Harrison Ford.
Yeah. No wonder he didn't want to get paid for that. So the episode was written by Bob Forward and Eve Forward. Bob Forward we talked about in the first episode, and I think we might have elaborated on him again later, but it's too late in the day for me to remember. But it sounds familiar, but, he's the Beast Wars guy. And Eve Forward is his sister. And her writing credits, she's also an author, but her TV writing credits consist of 4 shows. She wrote 8 episodes of Biker Mice from Mars.
I love Biker Mice from Mars.
Most of us did. She wrote 1 episode of Hammerman.
Quick question. Circling back to Biker Mice from Mars. Which one is the one with the gun in his arm?
Vinny?
Moto.
Damn it. Vinny was the leader, right?
Yes.
Shoot.
Who was the other one? I don't know either.
Oh. Fuck. I don't know.
It was not fuck, I don't know.
It wasn't Fucko the rat?
It might have been.
Is it like Rizzo or something? A name like that?
That's no, that's the rat from Muppets, isn't it?
Could be.
I'm not looking it up right now.
No, I can tell you're not. I don't mind you're looking it up, but stop rubbing the microphone with your hand.
Let's see.
Vinny, Moto, and Chuck.
It's funny because
I thought you were going to say it is Fucko.
No, it's just I thought that if I brought up the IMDb, it would give me that information right off the bat. And I got Moto, played by Dorian Harwood. Harewood.
Yeah.
Vinny by Ian Ziering. Ziering.
Okay. I'm not familiar with him. Dorian Harewood, I know. He's been in lots of stuff.
Come
on, man.
But
there's only one more.
I know. So, Throttle. Voiced by Rob Paulson.
Okay, cool. Rob Paulson, of course, is he voices lots of people.
Like who? Throttle?
Well, Throttle from Biker Mice from Mars, who in a previous version of the show was known as Fucko the Rat. But, he was Yakko Warner. He's Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. He was...
Did we ever see him live?
Yes, he's Raphael. in the original Ninja Turtles. He was Donatello in 2012 Ninja Turtles. I mean, it's Rob Paulson. Anyway.
So he wasn't Raphael in Soul Calibur?
I don't think so. He wasn't Arden Lin in Star Wars Masters of Teräs either.
You know, I was just thinking about that game and how much I want to play it again.
Mm-hmm. She also wrote a couple episodes of the second G.I. Joe cartoon, the one from the 90s, which was done by a different company and had a bunch of Canadian voice actors instead of the real ones. The one time that I'll apologize for my country, we didn't do well with G.I. Joe. I can't imagine why. Besides the fact that it was 1991. Who gave a crap about G.I. Joe anymore? And it says she wrote 2 episodes of Zelda. Neither of them were this one, so that must count as solo credits instead of as a with or an and.
Yes.
But anyway, those are her 4 credits: Zelda, G.I. Joe, Hammerman, and Biker Mice from Mars.
Man, now let's see the next time if Biker Mice from Mars comes up, if we remember Throttle. Or if we're just going to be Fucko the Rat.
Yeah, are we just going to remember Fucko? It'd be pretty hard to forget because this will be one of the most bleeped episodes. And the bleeps will be remembered.
Oh.
Okay, we don't do lore or filler for a Zelda episode, so ratings.
Oh, yes. This is going to be very high up there.
Stop looking at the Roku screen.
Okay,
It's the same purple cityscape.
But for the ratings.
Now I'm doing it. Ratings. I'm going to give it a 9 force field rings out of 10. I really like this one, and it should be the benchmark. It can't have a 10 because it's got, errors.
I'm going to give it 9.5 girl fights.
Oh, nice.
Princess Zelda in the Mud girl fights out of 10.
Yeah. That is a thing that happens in the episode.
Yeah.
Well, sort of. They don't really... There's some shoving in there.
Yeah.
It's not mud wrestling. It's not Jello wrestling either.
I could go for some Jello now. Thanks. I hate you for that.
It's the least I can do.
I don't have any Jello.
I don't have any Zelda. We have Jello at home, but no Zelda.
Oh.
So if you want to reach out to the show, you can leave a comment on the YouTube version of the episode.
You can email us at the Animated Arcade
at gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
You can hit us up on Twitter X at Animated Arcade. It's the only place where we're not the Animated Arcade because of the character limit.
And pretty much everything else, except for Twitch, MySpace.
Don't say things that there aren't because they might miss the part where you said that they're not.
All right.
So, but we are on Blue Sky, Facebook, TikTok, and eventually Instagram as The Animated Arcade.
Eventually Instagram, and instead of Instagram right now, because Aaron, the co-host of the podcast, sucks.
Yeah, but that's the other half of the reason why I'm remastering old shorts with the new logo is we got enough of those in the bank, then we can soft relaunch the Instagram with those.
Yes.
And other hilarious Instagram antics. Aaron's the only one of the two of us who has any Instagram experience, so I've been leaving it in his capable hands, and you've seen how that went.
Yes. I have hands. Are they in the evil jar?
They might be. Waiting for the rest of you. Don't worry, I'll be sending you to join them right after this. So, do you want to predict what's going to happen in the next episode? Episode 36 of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, and it's 2 segments?
Yes, I predict that there's going to be a live action segment.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be a full-length feature movie directed by James Cameron.
Referenced by the cartoon. Okay, so the live action segment next time is called Little Marios.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to finally do a baby thing.
I mean, there was 3 plumbers and a baby, too.
No, this is live action.
I know, but like...
Are they going to have to babysit a baby?
That's not my guess.
Okay,
my guess,
what's your guess?
The return of Sergeant Slaughter and the steam booth.
Damn. I know Sergeant Slaughter does come back eventually. Because I've been keeping it in my back pocket to properly do a Sergeant Slaughter, character thing, because that was from our first 3 episodes, and
we sucked.
Yeah, well, that's like the last thing we have to make up for. That and actually describing Captain Lou.
Who's missing.
Yeah, when he's missing, we'll talk about him. Until then, he's always around.
Yeah.
And the cartoon is, now this is going to be tricky, Koopa Claus.
Weird.
AUS.
What? AUS?
CLAUS. Claus.
Ooh, this is going to be... I already know it.
Yeah, it's the Christmas one.
Yeah.
We already put up the Jingle Bell Rock cover song from it as a Christmas short. We cheated a bit, but I mean, whatever.
It's what we needed to do.
Yeah.
It's not the clip that you deserved, but the one that you needed right then. Or whatever. It's not the clip that you needed right now, but the one you deserved.
What does that mean? I don't know, son, but it sounded cool. As I ride on my bike at the end of dark night.
Oh.
That's a great song. We should play that as our outro instead of doing the Mario.
Or we can just play it after we do the Mario.
Yeah. So get ready for episode 36, where we're going to talk about a Christmas episode. Over a month late.
Close. Yeah, 2 months late.
Just about, yeah.
By the time it comes out, it's going to be 2 months late.
Dang.
We just about had it synced up.
Yeah, well. And then we didn't.
I know.
Maybe we'll get back in sync next time. I'm John.
I'm syncing myself.
And until next time, everybody,
do the Mario!
I thought you were going to make like an in-sync joke.
Like what? I'm Justin Timberlake?
No, that's just a fact.
Thanks for listening to The Animated Arcade. Our theme song is After School Keyboard Club by Xennial, sourced from freemusicarchive.org. Our logo and thumbnail art is done by Shell, who you can follow on Instagram at YourMidnightCrafter. The cover songs from the Mario-themed episodes are sourced from the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ channel on YouTube. These links, as well as the music used in our Zelda-themed episodes and all of our social media accounts, are found in the description.